our thesis is that we needed a more high-level agent to be sure to monitor and control the autonomous teams inside those organizations. Now we had two solution directions that we came to. One was having the autonomous team as a separate entity and the supervisor agent as a separate entity controlling the autonomous teams. That's one solution direction. We'll show it in a minute. And the other one was to have that more collective as a complete team with a lot of different layers of hierarchy within those organizations or within those agent teams, from operational to manager layer to evaluators and a supervisor floating on top of that. So yeah, we would love to show you both of those solution directions.
Yeah, so I'm going to show like a demo where there's like a coding agent, maybe you guys know AGI, which can do changes to a code base. So here's like a test code base, it's just like some HTML. And then AGI will run, but at the same time a supervisor will asynchronously like monitor the output of AGI and then like evaluate that. We haven't like implemented yet a way to act on that evaluation, so it's currently just this demo of like having a prompt executing on the output stream of that agent. But like if we had more time, we would have implemented a handling. So for example, if the supervisor's recognizing, okay, the agent is stuck at some point, maybe looping, then it could say, okay, restart it and adjust the prompt maybe slightly. So it's kind of this back and forth loop of like having more control and maybe not getting agents stuck. So I run this now with just like improve the landing page. It's just a simple instruction on like execute on the code. And here's AGI running, and this is the supervisor like asynchronously monitoring that, and like it's currently not a prompt that gets a lot of utility, but it's like just we managed to get the code working so both runs in parallel, and like it runs like these are two different models running like asynchronously. So yeah, if you maybe have some more ideas, you can also just copy the code, do your own thing where you maybe have like two different models running at the same time, and then you can maybe also implement like some actions that actually happen. Yeah, but now you see like the code got changed from the agent, and like it's just this like interesting experiment of like having two agents like running at the same time in like a hierarchy. Yeah, Francisco, maybe can you show? Or?
Yeah, I can show you. Yeah. So to add to this, one specific thing that we wanted to work on regarding supervision was when one is building an agent in production, one sometimes wants to find like edge cases of the agent or where it fails. This is something that is usually done manually. So basically developers, ourselves, we start playing around with the agent and trying to break it in each of the actual guidance that we gave it in the prompt, seeing that it doesn't fail in any of the cases that could happen in production where the users could ask things that are not in the happy path, and we want the agent not to fail, right? So one idea we had was like, what if we have some kind of adversarial system where we're having an agent that is trying to break our production agent in the different guidelines that we specified in our prompt. So if we have an adversarial agent that is creating examples on the fly and running them through the agent and then evaluating whether the response is satisfactory, given the original guidelines, this could help us first detect weaknesses of the agent before running to production, and also adding these examples to a data set for future evaluation. So this is something that is done manually. It could be now automated, or at least complementing the human that is actually doing the stress testing. So here we have a small example. It is kind of buggy, but it will show the idea. So we have some guidelines. Let's say in this company we have some guidelines which are, we want a certain color palette in any feature we develop in our app, and also we want the tone to be very formal and professional, right? So what you're seeing here is that our whole agent is running, right? So the manager, this is conventional agents, right? It's creating the code, right? This is the backend, this is the front end, so it will create everything, but then now it will be evaluated, right? And the input here was create a click me button or get your quote now, but with a very unprofessional tone. So here it says it is evaluating it, right? It will start evaluating it and get your quote now button feature. And we will see that there's a few things that are not, the backend generally aligns, but there's adjustments to be made. So yeah, now this is the part where it's kind of buggy. It's trying to fix it instead of like just outputting the evaluation. But the whole point here is that it detects that it doesn't have the right feature, so the code agent is buggy, right? Because it's generating a feature that it does not correspond with our guidelines. So I would just stop it. But the key part here is this assessment, where we can see that our stress testing agent created an example and now has an assessment saying this example will make the system fail because the system is not creating code that is appropriate for our brand guidelines. So yeah, the idea behind this is basically adversarial stress testing with agents. It requires more work, but I think it's a very interesting line of work.